See, I don't think the starting point really is that people want to do QR codes and augmented reality. I think if there's a need, if there's a strategic need to do it, I think everybody's open. To answer your question, I think agencies and clients are very interested and keen on exploring new opportunities, but not for the sake of doing it. But I think if there's a genuine reason to do it, then why not? I don't think there's any lack of enthusiasm on the part of clients or agencies.
Okay, but are they looking at newspapers as a platform wherein this integration can happen? As in, if they are necessarily advertising on print, then they...
It's one of the options. You could look at newspapers, you could look at outdoor, you could look at practically you could look at point of sale. So it's not necessarily about newspapers alone, but yeah, newspapers probably gives you the largest reach in terms of, if you want to integrate technology with it. But having said that, like I said, it's not like the starting point really is, do we need print? What is the idea? Does it need print? And if you look at it that way, and if print is if newspapers ends up being one of the media options, then yeah. But like I said, it goes back to saying that it's not that if I take newspapers, I'll force fit a technology, option along with it. It works. There must be a real need for it.
Okay.
Well, I think you must find a way of staying relevant. I think one of the examples I gave was about, to me, to get people to. I think the fact that newspapers release or the printed news just as late as 3 a.m. or 3:30 or whatever when Euro was happening, that's a fabulous way of, then the newspaper becomes meaningful, right? I wake up and I'm reading the newspaper and I get the latest news as of 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, I think you have to start finding new ways of doing that. How can you stay relevant? How can you probably, curate the news in a different manner? The way, because the beauty of the internet is it's curated, right? There's somebody who's curating news for you, so it's making the navigation a lot easier, and it's intelligent. It figures out what you want to read. No longer are people willing to read. I don't know. My sense is, people probably want information in bite sizes. So long features, does that really make sense? I think there's a need to relook at the whole editorial, the layout, the editorial view. So a lot of things can happen, and honestly, I'm not an expert, in terms of what works in a newspaper. And but I think, like I said about youth, I think newspapers increasingly are missing out on youth. There are things like Bombay Times and Page 3 and this and that probably addresses it to some extent. I think we probably need to go beyond that. So if you integrate technology with that, it's another way of getting youth back into interested in newspapers. So probably these are some of the things that probably media owners in this space need to look at.
Okay.
Branded content, I think I think branded content is easier understood. We easily understand it in television. And I think in the context of newspapers, we really haven't seen too much of that happening. The Colgate thing is one example of branded content, but I think people will probably find it a lot more challenging to integrate branded content within.
But do you think it's a good opportunity for advertisers to?
It is, in the sense that I think the power of news always has been about its editorial, right? There's an integrity in editorial. Unlike say GEC is entertainment, news is information, and news is about educate and inform. So we have to be a little careful as to how you do that. I think something like Colgate about brushing in the night works perfectly because it is about education and informing. But if it's something, I think you have to be careful about making sure that it's a meaningful content that you're putting out that also fits doesn't mess with the integrity of the newspaper.